What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103, and welcome to episode 3 of the Blaugrana and Parisiens, where today we are going to be discussing everything around Barcelona, PSG, and of course the games coming up after the international break, which thank God is ending this week. Of course, this weekend coming up, club football will return. I think myself and PSG Int have had enough of international break. We're seeing all these. Yo, tell me about what's happening with Mbappe, man, in Sweden. Because I saw some of it this morning, but I was going to ask you when we got on the show.
I woke up. Someone told me go and check Aftonbladet. Aftonbladet is like Goalkeeper or Marca. It's a very big, famous newspaper in Sweden, and they had allegations something that that word happened in a hotel during the time Mbappe was there. And when they asked a judge about the case, they said, "Is Mbappe involved?" He said, "I prefer not." No, I prefer. He said, "No comments." So
Yeah.
people are trying to find something in it.
Lock him up, man. Lock him up. I'll take it. Especially before the Classico.
No. He recently tweeted something. He said it's fake and
Yeah,
everything.
he said it's fake. I saw that.
And then
yeah.
he attacked us. He said, "How convenient that this comes up right before our court hearing.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a court hearing about the money and so on."
The 50
So
million
he's
video,
like
right?
blaming us for spreading the fake news.
Oh, what can you do? But let's get into some of the discussion. I want to start off with PSG because they have a very interesting run ahead of the post-international break. Of course, people on the channel know about Barcelona, so we'll save that conversation afterwards. But PSG, so you have Strasbourg at the first game back, then PSV at home, then the Le Classique with Marseille, Lens, Atletico Madrid, Angers, and then the international break comes again. So you have six games. So does Barcelona. I think the last international break we had 7 games, so it's one less because then they gave an extra kind of week off for everyone. But what are your thoughts heading into those games? Which games are you looking at thinking it's going to be the most difficult? And out of the 6 games, what's your kind of early prediction?
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't say only the Angers game at the end is an easy game because they're a relegation battling side. Strasbourg, they've been on the up ever since Chelsea bought them up. They're a satellite club of Chelsea, so they have a lot of Chelsea loanees at that club, and they're sitting like top 6, I think, this season. PSV are actually, that shouldn't actually be a test, but we've seen Paris Saint-Germain in the UCL. Marseille, it's Le Classique, that's a tough game away as well. Long. I'll probably say Angers, Lens, those are like confirmed, and PSV. Strasbourg, it's after the international break and right ahead of the UCL. We're not usually good in those kinds of games, but for me, it's all about the Atletico Marseille game. That's what we have to win.
It's a quick turnaround as well. Saturdays and then you have Sunday, Monday, then you have PSV. But it's both at home, so there's not too much traveling for the players.
Yeah.
So
We'll see. I don't know. Like, will you be tuning into Le Classique? Is it a big enough game?
Since it's not at the same time as the Classico now, probably because now Marseille are actually kind of semi decent, and it's at Marseille. If it's at PSG, I probably wouldn't watch it. But since it's at Marseille, I'll tune in. But if PSG go 1-0 up, I'll just leave. And I'll go do something else. But it's an interesting one to look forward
We're
to.
unbeaten. Yeah, we're unbeaten at their ground ever since 2011, I think, in the league.
Yeah, but they've been crap, man. This is the first time they've had an actual okay team that I've seen, anyways.
No, I'm ready for that game. I know that a lot of people will be tuning in because you have a lot of United fans with Greenwood.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch that for sure. But what are your thoughts on the 2 UCL games, PSV and Atletico Madrid? Do you see them both wins? Both tough games, but both at the Park. So you do have a bit of an advantage, you could say, even though you struggle against Girona at the Park, anyways. But with you have a difficult UCL running, how important are these 2 games?
I mean, they're extremely important. Luckily, we picked up those 3 points against Girona, even though I don't think we deserve to pick them up. So those were crucial. But we have lost to Arsenal, so we have to pick up points. Look, confidently, from what we've seen this season, we should get the dub versus PSV. They have looked weak in the UCL. Atletico will be a tough game. But if we start improving our form, both games could be easy. I mean, we saw Atletico lose 4-0 to Benfica, so.
But
Atletico fans
Atletico
got
do
this
get
game
up for
on.
bigger games. It's always their season always fails
That is true.
when they face like kind of like the medium teams. So like a Benfica, like a Villarreal, Real Sociedad. If you look at Premier League, maybe like a Aston Villa, that kind of thing. That's what they always struggle against. And the bigger teams, they tend to never win too much, but they tend to put up a good fight, maybe get a draw, a narrow loss.
Yep.
But it's those kind of games where I think they'll be up for it. So we'll see how their form is going into this game as well. But out of the 6 games, you think you'll win all 6?
I mean, after our recent games, it's hard to say that, but yeah, we're winning all 6.
Is Lucho on fraud watch or what?
If we drop points in any game, I would guess the Strasbourg game right back.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Could be like a 2-2.
Is this Lucho's final test for you? Like if Lucho wins you, let's say 4 out of 6 games, are you Lucho out or what? Are you on the fence?
It depends. Is it Girona kind victories or is it actual victories? I said Lucho at the moment. I want him to feel the pressure. I don't want him to feel that he's calm at PSG. That we'll give him unlimited time at this club. But am I thinking of sacking him? No. Luis Enrique is a great manager. We built a project around him. And we're not gonna cut that off because of 5 games. And by the way, you know that Lucho quote that you read up on the last one?
Yeah.
The last Blaugrana. I read from it. It was 2022, so it was before he came to PSG.
Yes, it's when he was the Spain coach. Yeah, when Xavi just got knocked out of the Champions League, we lost the Classico, and things were kind of on the ropes. This is Luis Enrique before going into the World Cup. So
how do you feel about that? Laporta was already thinking about sacking Xavi back then.
I spoke about it in my video last week. I don't think Laporta was thinking about it. I think he was just weighing up his options because the form continued. He'd be on the road, so he just we sold half the club to get money immediately with the economic levers, the palancas, to invest in the squad. We've made 6 top signings, which all of them have been a success during that summer, and we had good hope going into the season. Xavi, of course, the first 6 months were really, really good with a very, very crap team. We had a little bit of a title charge in the end as well. But in the end, his priority was coming when he came in. When he came in, we were 10th. He said to him, just get top 4. That's all we want. The rest is a bonus. So, yeah, that 3-week spell where we had a tough win in the league. Then we lost to Inter. Then we lost to Real Madrid, and everyone's heads were on the floor. So I think he was just kind of weighing up his options. Luis Enrique mentioned that he kind of answered his phone call, saying like, okay, if Xavi wins the league and the Copa del Rey, what's going to happen? And then Laporta just never answered him back. So I think he was just maybe just weighing up, just keeping stuff just in case, which I think every institution does. I'm sure PSG, when maybe Luis Enrique lose back-to-back games, they'll be like, okay, let's see what's gonna happen here. Maybe hey Tuchel, how's it going, man? Long time no see. You want to grab a coffee, catch up, stuff like that. So I don't see too much into it. I think his quotes about the game when we faced Xavi were more impactful on the fan base. So yeah, well, I mean, we'll see how things turn out. But let's discuss Barcelona, because Barcelona have a way tougher run than PSG. We have Sevilla, Bayern, Real Madrid, Espanyol, Red Star Belgrade, and then Sociedad. I mean, during the last period before the international break, we played 7 games, and I said that if we win 5 out of 7, that's a W. We end up winning 5 out of 7, but the 2 that we lost were very bittersweet. The Monaco and the Osasuna, because it wasn't down to us losing on ability. It was other factors that led to it. But I'm looking at these 6 games thinking, like, if he wins 5 out of 6, you might have to build him a statue or something, because this run is ridiculous. It depends on which one he loses. But I think unless Flick loses all 6, he won't get sacked. Barcelona's not that reactionary like a lot of fan base are. But I just want to win the Classico, man. I would sacrifice the Bayern game just to win the Classico. I want to win the Classico and Espanyol, those 2 matches, so badly. Red Star Belgrade will be a difficult one because their stadium and their atmosphere in the city is crazy, especially during Champions League. But if we ride that storm, score the first goal like I mentioned in the last episode, we'll be fine. Anoeta is always going to be tough, but we've kind of broken that curse. It's going to be a week off for the players to recover, hopefully, so maybe they'll be kind of rejuvenated. But I think the only guaranteed wins are it's probably Sevilla at home first game back, and all the other ones are quite ropey in how it can turn out. Because Red Star, if we concede first, I think we're cooked. I know what time we concede first. We're cooked. Barcelona at home against
You're
Espanyol.
cooked.
Yeah. This team mentally, man, is fucked. So I have no faith in it. Espanyol at home, we should be winning. I think we drew the game last time we faced it because they got relegated, and then they came back up.
Yeah.
The home game we drew 1-1. This other game we beat them 4-2 away, and we won the league in their stadium. But the other one was kind of tight. It was 1-1. I think Alonso got like a crappy header. Then Jose Lu scored like a 70th minute, dodgy penalty. We had a red card as well. So getting a win there.
Was that when that manager? No, the referee took the show that game, right?
Yeah, Mateo Lagos, as he always does. So those are the ones I'm looking for. But I have here a pinned comment about Lamine Yamal. So Lamine Yamal is moving a bit sus with his injury. The club confirmed this morning he has a bit of an injury that it's just a little overload, nothing too serious. But this is the problem when you play, so many games week in, week out. And a lot of Barcelona fans are worried about this because, our players go on international duty and actually play for their countries, where other clubs, they don't tend to too much. But he asked for my opinion. I'm not too worried. Again, we have the forward line to, survive 1 or maybe 2 games without Lamine Yamal. We have, of course, a lot of players coming back. Gavi will be back after international break. Fermin Lopez will be back. Dani Olmo will be back. So that's 3, huge inclusions for Barcelona. So how do you see Barcelona doing in these 6 games? Since I know for a fact you'll be hate watching a lot.
Actually, the Madrid game, I'm a Barca supporter.
Oh,
I would say that from now. Before, when I watched El Clásicos, like I hate both teams, so I'm like a neutral nearly in those games.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the Mbappe move, that's tipped the edges, and it's Barca for that game. Bayern, I will also watch it, but I will be a bit neutral because I don't like Bayern either. I don't like Bayern
beat
either.
you in your one Champions final.
It's not even about that. It's more their fans. The fans are very weird. The Bayern fans. But no. So I think those 2 games are great to watch. Yeah, I think Sevilla will win. I think Sociedad will win. Like they're more ass than they were.
Yeah,
last
to be
season.
fair, Sociedad have
in the
been
league.
so bad this season. Like for their expectations, I think they're like mid-table in La Liga. They've had like a terrible start. They did well against Madrid though, but then Mbappé's got his penalty, which was, again, I think the first one was a penalty, but the second one was. So they were kind of, moving crazy a little bit in that game. And against Atletico Madrid, they got like a last-second draw. So against the top sides at this home stadium, they've put in a good performance. So that's why I'd be a bit, skeptical about that game.
No, that's true. But yeah, as you said, El Clásico, that's the most important game. The thing though with El Clásico, it's like you have to win the Bayern game.
Yeah.
You don't want to go into back confidence.
You brought up a fantastic point. If we lose Bayern Munich, I will place $1,000 bet that Real Madrid will win the Classico. That is guaranteed. If we draw Bayern, I think we can. That's not too bad. We can go to the Classico and win. But that Bayern game will dictate the form and how well Barcelona do. Because when you play every other day, you have no time to sit down and cry. You have to get back up and go again, and that's gonna affect. It's gonna affect you a lot. So if we lose that Bayern game, if we get battered as well, like 4-0, 3-0.
Dude, why do you think you're gonna get battered?
I said if.
Yeah, but I think that possibility is 0. I think it's gonna be a very tight game. Like Bayern are not that good.
I know, but the storyline is there always. So I'm just saying that if we maybe tightly lose, I don't know. I think a loss we will lose Classico 100%. We've seen that so many times in the past 10 years when Barcelona have a big midweek game in the Champions League and we end up losing. Look at the one where they called Luis Enrique. We drew 3-3 to Inter. We got clapped in the Classico before that when we lost to.
You lost here? Us? You played El Clásico right after PSG game, no?
Yes, so yeah, we played Classico after PSG. We lost. Even the one where they called Luis Enrique. We played Inter UCL. We lost. When we played Bayern last time in the Champions League, we lost 3-0. We lost the next Classico. Like it's guaranteed. So that's why I think the Bayern Munich game is, I would say, a bit more important because it will dictate not only the Real Madrid game but the form throughout this time. Because if you beat Bayern, like finally we beat Bayern, morale is high, blah blah blah. Flicks at the wheel, you keep it going, you keep moving. But if you lose that game, I think everything will be on the ropes. Someone here asked in the chat about your opinion on a goalkeeper called Restis. Do you know who this is in Ligue 1? He's been linked with Barcelona recently. I don't know if he's been linked with Barcelona recently. I think we've been linked with the Nice goalkeeper. I forget his name. I think his
Bulka.
name Burka, yeah, because he did a little trial at Barcelona once upon a time.
Okay, okay. Bulka is actually from not from our academy. We bought him from Chelsea's academy, so he was at PSG. Then we sold him to Nice. But out of the two, Bulka is the better. He was in contention for League and Goalkeeper of the season with Donnarumma and someone else. Restes, he's this young potential goalkeeper. He looks good. The issue is, I see a lot of similarities between Alban Lafont, if anyone remembers him. He was also a highly touted goalkeeper from the same club, Toulouse. He went to Fiorentina and then flopped. So, no, Restes, I don't think Barca should even look at him at the moment. Like, you can sign a young winger, you can sign a young fullback, young midfielder. But no, you never sign a young goalkeeper. So, no, maybe as a backup, if you really want to remove Peña that much.
Man, I don't know if you've seen Peña. Peña is beyond stinky, so you never know. Someone asked you about your thoughts on the national team. I don't know if they mean Sweden or if they mean France, but I think they mean Sweden.
No, maybe Algeria.
Maybe Algeria. I don't think it's Algeria. But what are your thoughts on Sweden?
No, Sweden have a golden generation. I think if everything goes correct, no big injuries, we could be the top 7 side in Europe, top 5 potentially. The attack of Isaac, Gyökeres, Kulusevski as the 10, and then we have Berval,
Yes.
the guy that went to Spurs,
Yep.
that you were linked with. Yeah, but I think he could be our best player of all time because he's that number 10 gene, like a Pele, like a Neymar, like a Messi, Maradona. So no, I think Sweden, if we continue, we're still a young team. We're still not that good. We should make the World Cup. No, we could be good. We could be good.
Someone asked Palmer to Barca news. We're not signing Cole Palmer. Someone here says I think the mentality of Barcelona has changed. Barca lost twice and came back and scored 5 goals in both games. Honestly, that's a good point. But there's a difference between losing to Monaco with a red card and then losing with Osasuna with full rotation against and opposed to losing to Bayern fully strength at home. And I don't mean lost like 2-1. I remember we lost to Bayern Munich 2-0 in the Xavi's first full season. We played so well, probably some of the best football I've seen. We should have been like 3-0 up at halftime. We ended up losing 2-0. And that was a bittersweet feeling. You know what? We lost, but we played well. Let's progress and we build on that. And that's exactly what happened afterwards. So that could happen in this kind of game, but I feel like you get clapped by Bayern 3-0, 4-0. It's wraps. It's wraps. Barca was the most depressing, negative Barca YouTuber, I swear. I don't know where you're getting this from. I'm just being honest and real. I mean, I've been nothing but full positivity this season, but I'm just saying that if we do lose against Bayern, we're going to be on the ropes this whole entire international break.
Yeah.
PSG in, would you sell Donnarumma?
I will answer that at the end of the season. This will be the final chance I will give him. If he does consistent mistakes in the UCL again, I will sell him this summer. So if he doesn't, this will be the last time I get him.
Oh, the guy who's asking about the national team was saying that he meant Algeria.
No, Algeria, we cooked up 5-1. Once Algeria, similar to Sweden, we have a new generation coming up. If we could manage to get Cherky, which I don't think will happen, but if we do, that would be.
He should. He's not going to get any minutes for France. Do like a little, little Brahim Diaz kind of thing,
Yeah, I mean, he will have tough competition with Dembele, Olise coming up as well.
Barcola, Colomwani, Thuram, Mbappe. Like, it's not just wingers. You have to look at the forwards there as well. Because I'm pretty sure Deschamps would rather play Muani on the wing than Turkey right now, anyways.
Yeah. So. But the thing is, Turkey is very arrogant, so he knows the much harder challenge is France, so we'd probably pick France. He's already playing for their under-19 and then under-21s and so on. So, But no, Algeria, if we keep going, we could be.
Did you hear the news about Nigeria today?
No.
Oh, they got stuck in my country, Libya, man. They were going to play a game there. They got stuck in the airport for like 20 hours. And then they went on strike, and then they left without, playing the game. I tweeted like, "Welcome to my world, man. When I go to Libya, man, I get stuck in the airport for like 13 hours without fail."
So they were going to play in Libya?
Yeah. Which I'm surprised we have a national team. To be honest, I didn't even. I might get. I might have to go out there for a trial. I might get on the bench or something. PSG, what's up with our boy Arnaud Tenes? Can we get him back? Yo, I would take Arnaud Tenes back. I wouldn't pay for him. I'd love to take him back on like Like if we sell Ter Stegen this summer, and we have a whole new goalkeeper revamp, I would love to sign like a top goalkeeper. We've been linked with Diogo Costa, but for example, and then have Arnautovic as like a number 2. I think being a number 2 at Barcelona is better than being a number 3 at PSG. And I also know that you guys signed that Russian goalkeeper, which is named Stanikov or something like that.
Yeah,
Safanov, and Arnautovic went from number 2 to number 3. So I think in the end he left Barcelona because we didn't offer him a contract. He said that if we offered him anything, he would have signed. Which I don't know why we didn't. I don't know if it's logistics, money, or they didn't back him. But I would take Arnautovic back.
No, I think you had the choice between keeping him or Pena, and you just opted for Pena.
Yeah, big mistake. I think at the time, because with Iñaki Pena, he's terrible with his feet, but he's a better shot stopper than Arnautovic at the time. And at the time, Arnautovic was better with his feet, but at shot stopping, he wasn't tip top condition. And then he played that game for you. Remember when I think Navas and Donnarumma were both injured away from home? He saved the penalty and stuff like that. And all the Barca fans lost their minds after that. Like, oh, we kept Iñaki Pena for Arnautovic, which was always a big question at the time.
Yeah, and he was great at the Olympics as well. Spain winning it.
Yeah.
He got an assist in the final as well.
Mm-hmm. Someone asked, isn't Donnarumma out of contract in 2026 similar to Frankie de Jong? But if that's true, that means this summer you either renew or you sell.
Yeah.
So he's out of contract in 2026?
But we've been trying to extend him for a while now, and discussions are going well, so it wouldn't be hard to get. But yeah, if PSG decides to, then we'll have to sell this summer.
Someone asked us about the Mbappe news. We already talked about it earlier on in the stream. But I don't really know what to say about both our teams going into the break. I think we can both have an unbelievable 6 games, 6 wins, or we can both flop. I think the likelihood is Barcelona because, of course, we have tougher games. But
it's make it or break it. This
is crunch time of the season, of course. Yeah,
is Flick, is Lucha the real guys? Can they take these teams to success?
Mm-hmm. That's what worries me because this part of the season is always a try and tell based on how teams are doing. Because now you can't say it's the beginning of the season excuse. You now have had 2 international breaks, 2 months of the season. You should have an idea of how your team's going to approach the season. And with this kind of run for Barcelona, is very telling because usually Barcelona always have tough games at the end of October. If you look at the past 7 years, we always have like a big UCL game and a Classico. They always like to put the Classico first one like end of October for some sort of reason, and then the second one is either in March, April, and May. I've seen it in all those months. So I'm only worried about the Classico, man, because we have not won a Classico, a competitive one, in like a year. And I got my Madrid friends breathing down my throat. It's so annoying, man.
Would you say though this is the weakest Madrid side across the span of a year?
The weakest, no, because look at they got Galacticos, man. Look at them. Mbappe.
No, I'm talking performance. Like they haven't been that good this season.
I would say yeah. I would say so. But in the Classico at the Bernabeu, form goes out the window. And it comes down to strictly the manager battle and individual expectations and performance. The reason why Xavi won 4-0 that season was because Ancelotti set up terribly in a 4-4-2 and Barcelona just combated that. And you look at the past season, they got, last-second goals against us, and I just want revenge. But I don't know how they're going to line up Madrid because they have no Carvajal. Militao's just come back from injury. Apparently, David Alaba might not play football again because he has a cartilage issue in his knee where he doesn't have enough cartilage, and the bone keeps running up against each other, and it just hurts too much to play. I think Lonzo Ball had that same injury. I don't know if you watch basketball or not, but...
Yeah. But he's still playing, so...
Lonzo Ball is coming back now for the first time in 3 years. He had that injury where he had to basically replace all the cartilage in his knee. And it took him he basically got a new knee, so it took him 3 years to get used to it, build it up to a professional level. And then I think now he's coming back this season. But David Alaba might have that same issue. And if he does, he'll have to retire because he's now pushing early 30s, so he's not gonna have much time left. So we will see. See. Barcelona picked Pena because of his performance with Galatasaray. That's a good point. He did go out alone and was fucking nuts for Galatasaray. So maybe, of course, had a little bit of a impact. Why aren't Barcelona...
and Tenas only played under 19.
Yeah. Why am Barcelona linked with Kvaratskhelia? I would take him over Nico and Rafael Leao. I don't know, man. I'm not really sold on Kvaratskhelia. I know PSG is. He really wanted him at PSG this past summer. But I think he's a good winger. I think he is a Barcelona winger. But I just think the profile of Nico Williams and Rafael Leao suits Barcelona more. So, I mean, if he's the only option, I would take it. If, let's say, Nico and Leao go somewhere else or commit their futures to Milan and Bilbao. But imagine if PSG had Kvaratskhelia right now. Y'all would be cooking. I feel like you're missing that kind of one elite winger.
It's unfortunate, man. I knew what we had to get. I remember you were trolling me on Twitter.
Yeah.
I was like, no, we will get him. Because I was confident, like, this is the player that we had to get. It was easy to understand for everyone.
But there's no way you're forking up 150 million for him. He's like an 80, maybe 70 million pound player.
No. Like,
with Napoli,
he has Ballon d'Or level.
Bro, he's not winning the Ballon d'Or. What the hell are you talking
about?
Look,
his first season, he played in the Georgian league. Then his first season in Napoli, best player in Serie A, won Napoli the Serie A first time, I don't know, since Maradona, and was good enough in the UCL with them. And he was good with Georgia. Like, I just think he's such a great player that he can carry a team. That's how good he is.
He's definitely a good player, but I just don't think he's 30.
Look, if Felix is worth 120, he's better than Felix was when Atletico bought him. He's better than Dembele when you bought him.
But Felix was like 18. Isn't Kvaratskhelia like 22, 23?
No, I'm just saying if those players went for 120, I agree that 120 he's not worth it. I'm just saying that's the unfortunate market. Like Bellingham wasn't fucking worth 100. He wasn't worth that. But I think you have to overpay for these kinds of players. And I think to answer that question, CJR said
probably helped him out a little bit. But with Kvaratskhelia, the issue is they have the Napoli tax, where Napoli just refuse to sell unless they get massively overpaid. Someone here said there's a lot of pressure on Lucho because it's his second season. Flick barely started and he's dealing with a lot of injuries. There's really no pressure on Flick because there's no pressure going into the season. So unless he catastrophically fails, he will survive and probably get a second season. Where in that second season we expect a bit more. Of course, this season is starting off very well. Yep. We're performing well. The high line is doing well. That's also another good point that I mentioned in one of my analysis videos. That I don't know how Flick's going to approach the games against Bayern and Madrid, because if he approaches like we did against the other teams that we played so far, we're going to get cooked. High line against Elise, Vinicius Jr., we're going to get destroyed. So I don't know if he's going to change it, maybe drop the line a bit more back, but tactically he could cost us as well. Again, basing his team Bayern where he left and he achieved success with them, that might get into his head a little bit. So I don't know how it's going to pan out, but I am shitting bricks. No, but you have to be smart with it though. You can't commit suicide essentially with the high line against these top teams. It's just stupid. Because Xavi did that against Madrid in the Super Cup last year, and we got cooked. So it's things like that. You can keep the philosophy the same, but there's certain areas of the tactics where you can adapt and should adapt against teams that can kill you. You look at the games that we've won 5-1 and 7-1, 7-0. If we face a decent team and there are few chances that those teams got, they scored it. It's a different ball game. So I think you're right. Philosophy has to be the same. I do agree with that, but I think you should tweak some approaches that against top teams will make you more vulnerable. That's just my point of view. Yeah, but when you look at you have 33-year-old Inigo, 17-year-old Kubarsi, and you're coming against super fast Mbappe, super fast Vinicius, and they're not that quick, especially Inigo. He's been on the older side, so you don't want to initially and intentionally cook yourself for no reason. Oh, wait 1 second.
They can't hear me?
They can hear you now.
Okay, yeah.
So,
what's your prediction then, like scoreline for that game?
For Madrid,
Yeah.
I think it depends so much on like on how the teams come into the game because Madrid plays Celta Vigo and Dortmund, so they have kind of difficult games as well. I think it just depends really on if Flick plays a high line or not. I think if Flick just drops the line a little bit and is a bit more cautious with it, we can go there and get a result, especially based on who's been better this season, and that will definitely have a mental effect on the players. So I'd be optimistic only if, again, like I said to you earlier on, it depends for me on the Bayern game. If we draw the Bayern game, play well, win, I'll be super, super confident. But if we lose Bayern, especially if we get, destroyed, I might not even do a live stream for it.
Yeah.
That's how bad
No,
I think
no,
it is.
no.
What about you for
I
the
mean-
for the Le Classique? Are you confident? Are you gonna wait for see how PSG go into that game? Are you nervous for the first time in a few years since Marseille now are kind of semi decent?
No. Like Marseille are still our dogs. As I mentioned before, we still have a 10-year unbeaten streak against them at their own stadium. They will make it tough though. Last game was tough. We had a red card though that made it even tougher. The issue this time, it's not Marseille how they've been. It's more us. We've not been that good this season, especially in the last games. That makes me go in a bit nervous into every game, just not this Marseille game. And I know that De Zerbi is a manager that he's a high risk, high reward. Like we'll either slap Marseille or they will beat us. There's nothing in between. I don't see like a draw or a dull game. But no, we'll win. We'll win. It's Marseille at the end of the day.
I need some fights. I need some like flares going off. I need everything. That's what I need. But
Yeah, the issue with Le Classique is like our fans can't go to their stadium and their fans can't come to our stadium because they're always fighting and stuff after the games.
it's probably better anyways. I think it's kind of weird that they have sections for away fans. It's a home game. Let the home fans be there. If I could change one thing in football, it'd be just scrap all away fans and just only have like your home stadium. Because you reduce fights, you reduce action, and plus you give the home advantage a real home advantage. That's how I see it, anyways. Someone here in the chat.
That's actually an interesting take.
Is it? I don't think.
No,
It's that
I've
crazy.
never thought about it, but as you said, because what you mentioned about home advantage, because before home advantage existed because airplanes, traveling, all of that was much different before. Now it's so much easy that going away isn't that different from home, but that would actually make a difference. So
Yeah.
okay.
Someone in the chat said the offside trap that Barcelona used could help. I mean, you could like if he does it, then we pull it off. We're gonna look like thinking Flick is the next coming of Pep Guardiola. But at the end of the day, it's too risky to execute that with the high chance of it backfiring on you. Someone says they appreciate it. I still remember that one Marseille game where there was like 10 red cards with a massive fight. Is that the one where Neymar got red carded? Like Alvaro was there. I think Verratti got like a red card in that game or something like that. Yeah, that was in COVID, so we
Yeah,
didn't
that
really
was
get
like our first defeat. Them.
couldn't get the fans in there,
Yeah. No, I remember it was our first defeat in like 10 years. That was a brawl at the end of the game because Alvaro said something racist. I think he called Neymar a monkey. Then Neymar got mad and fuck. That's when Tuchel got sacked and everything. Like that was a very bad period.
I hate Alvaro so much, man. Played for Espanyol, then he played for like Villarreal, and just just a dick when you played Barcelona all the time. But
Yeah. No, disgusting human being, man.
But I'm just looking here quickly at the fixtures for PSG in the Champions League. You have Man City, Bayern, after Atletico and PSV. I mean, you might not make the round of 32, man. Like if you draw against PSV,
No, stop.
Well, hear me out. If you don't win against PSV, I think you're cooked. I think you're cooked.
No. Do you know why I won't say that?
Why?
Like honestly, it's because like Bayern City aren't as good as people make them out. Like they're also struggling this season. So yes, PSG is struggling, but we have to look at Bayern also. They are struggling. City are what maybe their weakest year under Pep so far this start. Obviously, they can change it. And the thing is, City always peaks at the end, and we are playing City in January,
I will
and that
say
game is straight after the winter break. So it's such a weird game.
that is true. I also say this: like you have a lot of games at home as well. So despite you having difficult games, you have a lot of home advantage. So that could, I know the park can, be intense in
True.
these kind of games. It can help out a lot, especially if you start the game well and get the first goal. But I don't know, man. These
Yeah.
are the Bayern away, City at home, Atletico at home. Like if you at least
This
got a
is the
draw,
Champions League. This is the Champions League.
I know, but if you got in a draw against Arsenal, I'd be way more confident. But you barely beat Girona, lost to Arsenal. I mean, this PSV game, I think, is that week of PSV and Marseille. I think will dictate a lot of your season too, and especially Lucho's kind of position as well. Like you said, depending on how he wins, how he plays, what the results are,
Yep.
you could see some PSG drama, and I'd love it.
Yeah, no, PSV. Obviously, the most important thing is get the 3 points because that will count on for the rest of the season, not just that game. But I would love a masterclass that would show, all right, PSG might be back. But then we have Salzburg away. That should be an easy game because Salzburg have been stinky. Stuttgart away, that could be difficult. Stuttgart look good, and going away to Germany is not easy.
Yeah,
But if we pick obviously points versus if we win versus PSV and Atletico, we're already through. So then that I don't know pressure can get off our shoulders.
true, true. Someone here asked an interesting question: if Barcelona and PSG went against each other right now, who do y'all think would win? I mean, if it's a neutral ground, I would back Barcelona right now. But I don't know. Over two legs, anything can happen, man. I've seen too much with this shit team, man.
Like I have two sides. It's continuing with my Lucha agenda or trying to be like a confident PSG fan. Because continuing the Lucha agenda, I would say no, because Lucha would probably overthink. He would bench Barcola because he said something. Then he would play Due as the fucking goalkeeper.
Yeah, you're still
That
around
would
by
just
that
stink.
Arsenal game. I can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, because Lucha costed us that game. Like he basically costed us that game. And I read stuff. I read that I think in his second season with you guys at Barca with MSN, I think he lost away to Sociedad at the Anoeta. And Messi went to Lucho and complained about how you guys played and how you guys set up. I think Messi and Neymar were benched that game.
That was the first
And then
season.
Lucho wanted to
That was the first
yeah,
season
yeah,
where
yeah.
we
And then
lost.
Lucho wanted to punish Messi.
Yeah, that was the first game, the first season when we won the treble. So it was, I know what's away. I think 1-0. They scored like the second minute. He did some massive, massive changes in that game. Like Jerry Matthew was playing, like Adriano. He rotated like no tomorrow. And I think Messi's played like in the front three with him, Munir and Sandro, something like that. And Messi was pissed, and the dressing room started to, say to Luis Enrique, like, look, you cannot be going against us. It's the only way we're gonna have success working together. The dressing room felt like at the time that he was kind of just thinking about himself. So once I think the captains had that meeting with Enrique, he made the big change, which was moving Messi from the middle to the right, Suarez and striker, and then dropping Xavi, which of course made him leave Barcelona at the end of the season, and putting Rakitic in. Once he did those two changes, which the team felt like needed to happen. Even Xavi said like, look, it's you signed Rakitic for a reason. He needs to be starting the team. The front three will be more fluid if you put Messi back on the right because he's still gonna drift inside anyways. But the Lucho will have El Pistolero will have like the natural ability up front. But yeah, I know what the game I think shaped into one of the reasons why we did go on and win the treble because I don't think it was like massive fights like you see now like with Lucho and Dambus where like you drop the player so to speak. But I think it was a constructive criticism moment between the captains of the team and Lucho that was probably needed to really get the season going more than it did at the time.
No, but I read something again. I don't know extremely how reliable it is, but it said that Messi first after the game in the dressing room went to Lucho and complained, similarly to how Dembele complained to Lucho. And then after that, Lucho was thinking about punishing Messi, like he didn't want him for a squad or benching him in a game. But then, as you said, the captains and the board, maybe if they were discussed, said, no, you can't do this, Lucho. You're at Barca. This is fucking Messi. Who do you think you are? And but
I would
PSG a
believe
bit
that.
similar, but just Dembele doesn't have that PR. So
That for
yeah,
me
he
makes
can just be
sense.
benched for
I
no
mean,
reason.
I was in high school at the time. I don't remember much. I was just a little kid. But I do remember that. I know with the game being a game changer. Maybe he did want to bench Messi, which again, that's just stupid. So I think in the end, the solution that came out of it was beneficial for everyone. So I guess Lucha's a bit, a
You,
bit of a
no,
hothead.
but you don't see the difference. You guys humbled Lucho. You humbled his ego. We gave fucking fire to his ego. Like you, oh, you want to bench Dembele because if he can make that kind of decisions ahead of such a big game, which I don't like at all.
Yeah, I understand your point, but at the end of the day, let's say for example, if it wasn't Messi for us, if it was someone else, let's say if like Munir or Sandro at the time, Barcelona would have backed him. But I think the situation at the time was that it was such a crucial point in the season where the captains had to stand up for him. We don't even know what happened with PSG. If the captains of PSG went to Enrique said, "Look, it's Arsenal. You can't bench them boost now.
No,
We need him and stuff like that," it would have been different.
no, but no, because he didn't even plan the them boosting. It just came out exactly when the squad was announced, like a late thing. And if you remember the last podcast that we had, the report I read out towards the end, it said that a lot of like the big players at PSG are not happy with how Luis Enrique is playing, and they're complaining and everything, and want him to play in a different way.
Maybe this
So
is the
we're
changing
on a
of.
similar position, but we don't have leaders. We don't have leaders. Like Lucha could respect Messi, Piqué, Iniesta, all these. How is he fucking gonna respect? I don't know, Marquinhos,
Well,
Dembele,
Marquinhos,
Patch, some bums, man.
yeah, Marquinhos is a good player. Who are the PSG captains?
So Marquinhos,
I know Marquinhos is
Kimpembe,
captain.
but I mean he hasn't played. Hakimi is there. I think Donnarumma is there. Vitinha, Dembele. It's a lot of like new
Fucking hell,
players.
yeah.
So
What the hell happened with Kimpembe? I've not seen this man play in like 3 years.
yeah, so he got an I think an ACL or a hamstring. Was out for 1 year, and then has never. He like Kimpembe is training now with the first team. He might be back. Oh, he got an injury. 3 months out. Like he's so physically cooked. So physically cooked.
Why did you just call it quits? Why are you just still lingering around? Like, what's the point?
Uh, uh, uh this. I mean, he now actually he can go to Saudi, but I think he likes it being at PSG because the fans love him a lot, like a mascot at the club.
Like, if he
He
goes
can
to
go
Saudi,
vibe
will
with
he
the
be fit to
players.
play for Saudi?
No, 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 no. He's so cooked. So cooked.
And scummy footballers nowadays. I saw Mendy come out today about like his allegations from like a few years ago, saying that there's so many Man City players at the party, but I was the only one that I took all the flag for, and everyone pushed the blame on me. So
Wait, he's saying other City players did stuff.
yeah, he was saying that he was not there's so many other City players that were at the party that he ran. I think I don't know if he ran the party or not, but yeah, I'll pull it up 1 second. Where is it? Here it is. So he says several Man City first team players, including the club captain, were all present at the parties that I attended and hosted. We all drank alcohol. We had casual relationship with women. We all breached the COVID-19 restrictions at the time. This does not excuse my behavior, but I feel like it is unfair for Man City to single me out in the way they have. The difference between me and the other Man City players is that I was the one who was falsely accused of, and was publicly humiliated. So he got finessed a little bit.
I know that Mahrez was there definitely. And what I heard, I saw a video. It was one of the women that were at that party. They said once they had a party on Eid.
Ah,
They celebrated the Ramadan with.
Astaghfirullah. Can't believe it. Someone here said, PJ, do you follow League McDonald's properly? If yes, what's your verdict on Nice's goalkeeper? Oh, we already talked about this earlier. He said that he's all right, but not really Barca quality.
No, no, no. No. That before there was Restis. No, Bulka
Oh,
is
yes.
actually good. No, Bulka, as I said, he was nominated for top 3 goalkeeper. He was at PSG before. When we got the first Messi season at PSG, we got knocked out of the Coupe de France to Nice. Bulka had a masterclass, and he saved Xavi Simon's pen at the end. So he got aura too. Bulka is actually a good one. I think he's a good one. And someone you can.
That's
look
what
at.
Barcelona need, man. A good goalkeeper that has aura. That's what we're missing.
Yeah, why hasn't Chesney played yet? What are we waiting for?
Bro, we had international break. We signed
No,
him,
but like the game before, couldn't he play?
bro. He's been retired for like 4 months. He can't just play first week back. He needs time to get the rhythm and sharpness and stuff like that. He's only missed. I think the one game was Alaves away, which he could have played, but he's been out and smoking for like 3-4 months. He needs to get back in shape and feel the ball again.
Has he stopped it now?
Huh?
Has he stopped it now because he's
No,
back football?
he's still addicted. He's addicted to smoke. He smokes all the time. He said. He just doesn't do it in the public in front of kids because he doesn't want them to know. But he smokes and it doesn't affect his performance, so he doesn't care. Which I mean, if he drops a stinker, people are gonna. But the Barca media is gonna bring it up like, oh, he sucks because he keeps smoking and all this stuff. So he better just
True.
perform well, or else the media will use that against him.
Yeah.
If Lucha gets sacked, then who would replace him? You think? Someone said. Do you think it would be Tuchel?
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking available managers or managers that don't have a job, obviously Klopp now is working with Salzburg. He would have been my number one priority, even though I don't think he would have wanted to come. But yeah, Tuchel unfortunately is the only one available, I think. And we were actually linked with him when we got Lucho, but he chose to go to Bayern instead, or wait or something. I don't remember where it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can only think of Tuchel. I heard something about maybe the Croatian manager.
Bro, that man's gonna stink anywhere outside Croatia, for being honest.
Yeah, so
He's
I don't
vibes.
think. But if PSG really means something, we can like pay a manager. Bring back Unai Emery, I guess. I don't know.
Really?
No. He can't succeed at the big club. That's what people have to understand about Emery.
I know.
Like
I know.
he's good at the Sevilla, Aston Villa. He would
Villarreal.
probably cook at Marseille.
Yeah. I think he'd do well at Tottenham. I think Tottenham's probably like his peak, like biggest club he could coach.
Yeah,
there.
and yeah. Tottenham is the best, not part of the best club.
Somebody brings up a good point, saying that the only thing I don't understand about Lucho is being obsessed with false nine, like playing Messi there and also playing Asensio there a lot. Which I guess is true. He did a lot with Spain as well, playing like Dani Olmo in the false nine. But to be fair, Spain don't have the best of strikers, but it's an interesting approach from him. But if it comes to fruition, you can't really blame him, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Spain won the Euros with basically a centre forward. Because yeah, Morata is counted. If you ask people what position is Morata, they would say striker. But how he operates, the good stuff he brings to the pitch, is not like what a 9 does. He doesn't score goals and so on. No, he makes constant run. He play makes. He drops deep. So Spain just won with a false 9. So if this is Lucha's tactics, I have no issue with the false 9. For me, it's the profile isn't the issue. The quality is the issue. Asensio is not good enough to start for PSG. Kangili is not good enough to start for PSG as the false 9. They wouldn't start at any other big club. Like, would you start Asensio as your striker? No. You see the drop between him and Leva this season, for example? So I think it's more about quality. If we had the Kvara there, nobody would complain about the false 9 stuff. We had maybe Alvarez or something.
A lot of Spanish managers are obsessed with the false 9. Pep is, Arteta is, even Xavi is was for a bit as well. He tried some things with it. Like, I think he tried Gabby there once.
I think you tried Felix, El Clasico there, no?
Yeah. The home one, yeah, with the Rolling Stone sponsor. So, maybe it's in the Spanish manager's genes. I don't know. But, it is what it is. I guess it's something that you just kind of have to deal with. A couple more things here. Would you swap Barcola for the Shark? I don't think PSG is that stupid.
The Shark, man.
Yeah, that man is.
Well, how did he get that nickname?
I think because he was coming back after last season, being crap. He's like, he put on his Instagram story, I have a shark mentality, where he just like looks forward and like stalks his prey. Then he came back, scored a couple of goals, and he started saying shark, shark. And the Barca account started saying shark, shark. And everyone else, the players, the Barca fans, and then now he's just barely a fish. He's just shit. I can't with him. All right. I think we covered basically everything. Anything you want to leave off on a note that we forgot to mention?
PSG. No,
No.
no. I mean,
Alright.
good luck for the El Clasico. I'll be watching.
I think
I'll be supporting.
the next.
But if you lose, I would still cook Barca. Like I won't.
Hey man, I cooked you when you lost to Arsenal and stuff, so you can come at me. But I think the next stream we do will be before our big week, before PSV Marseille for you, then Bayern and Madrid for me. So
Yeah,
we'll
who
have
do you play this weekend? Was it?
we play Sevilla.
Oh, Sevilla.
Yeah, so we'll see how things look. Players coming back from international break, players coming back from injury, so that'll give us good representation and stuff. So, all right. Thank you everyone for joining. Of course, if you are new and did enjoy, make sure you subscribe down below, drop a like as well. I am doing a giveaway, by the way, so make sure you check out my community tab if you want to be involved in the giveaways for Barcelona Black Kit. Check out, of course, PSG and on all platforms. His YouTube channel is linked down below. And we'll see you guys on the next edition next Monday. Take care. Forza Barca.